I think we're there.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me
still not working.
confirm. Let me make sure.
Oh wow, yeah, something is up with this website.
Hold on. I don't know if we're live now. Looks like we're live and someone's watching us already.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Let's see. Are you on your computer or on your phone?
My computer.
Oh, okay. Looks like we're live.
Oh, great.
Hey guys, if you can see us, let us know you're watching. We don't know we're live yet. I haven't gotten the notification.
Because it looks like there's just two of us on here. I wonder.
Yeah. Let's see. Huh. No, there's one. Are you able to look at it through your
Oh, I can
Oh,
see.
there we go. Thank you. Yes. Okay. We got it. We're live. Perfect.
Okay.
So how are you doing, Toya?
I'm great, thanks. How are you? Feeling
I'm
good?
doing well. Staying safe inside, not going out so much, making sure that, I'm taking care of my family here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important.
Perfect. Yes. So thank you so much for joining me on When Shit Hits the Fan Part 1. I'm very excited to have you here today and talk to you a little bit about what you're doing, what I'm working on, and how do we stay positive and keep a positive mindset during these difficult moments. So welcome. And I wanted to talk to you mainly about, which is week 1 and week 2 of my program, mindset and owning your voice. So tell me a little bit about you and how your program and what are you working on?
Okay. Yeah. So um, I'm Latoya Fernandez. I'm a youth advocate, education activist, and I have a youth empowerment organization called Youth Hype. And I facilitate workshops that help build a sense of awareness and self confidence within youth, and then they transfer that into community engagement and raising their voice and protest against systems of injustice. And
Mhm.
then aside from that, I also work with schools and educators around training them in culturally responsive teaching, bringing restorative justice and practice into schools, and that kind of thing. So a lot of community engagement and on behalf of the youth. That's what I got going on all day, every day.
And you make it sound so simple and easy. It's so much work that you're doing, which is amazing, impacting so many lives every day.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
super cool.
it's
Wonderful.
a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. So I recently just, as you probably know, being a powerhouse sister with Chandra Brooks here in San Jose, I founded my program, Miriam Speaks, this year, actually, the end of December. And it's been quite a process. So being a mother, working on our own business, it's a lot of work. Can you tell me a little bit about how you do it? How do you say, I know you're a parent too as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A couple of things. One is really allowing myself to engage in self care. As women, it's really hard for us to take moments where we're not being, um, selfless. We're always trying to support everyone else. But I've found that in taking the time to invest in my own self care, I'm allowing myself to be resilient and increase my capacity to support and serve others. So, I go get my nails done. And I go get my hair done, and I get my feet done, and I do that kind of thing. I take naps when I want. I work out. I do things that are for me. And then I
Mhm.
also, the second part of that is really finding the joy and creating a platform where you can make money off of doing the things that you really love to do.
Mhm.
And so I think it's beautiful, with your platform, Miriam Speaks, you're
Yes.
creating an opportunity for yourself to really do what you love to do, which is share with people and support people. Now you're going to be getting paid. So then you're going to be getting that self care piece, and you're going to be making money. So I think that's a huge part of being able to do it, is picking something that you know you're going to love and then monetizing it.
Exactly. And you know what? Up until recently, I never thought about it. You know, as I was growing up, I would get jobs here and there, and I never felt fulfilled. I would just go to work basically, and then get home, have the same thing the next day, going on, taking care of kids, going to work, making dinner, the same routine. But once I actually went to a few seminars, and that's something self-care. You invest in yourself, I think. Educating myself about who is Miriam, what am I doing? So once I started going to these seminars and I started learning about myself, and I said, wait a minute, I have a story that I want to share. I want to impact people. I
Mhm.
want people to feel good about themselves. So definitely self-care, I think, is essential for us. And
Mhm.
watching a movie, or sometimes I go to the comedy club by myself,
Yeah.
you know, just being there for me. So I think I love what you're saying, getting our nails done. For me, I wake up early in the morning to work out a little bit.
Yep.
Um, I listen to motivational speaker at least 20 minutes in the beginning of my day. So just making sure that I'm using my time wisely for myself, because we need to take care of ourselves first
Mhm.
before taking care of other people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I love what you're doing. So with that being said, now with this coronavirus and all this that's happening, all this crazy stuff, what's your family doing to stay positive?
Um, well, number one, we're sticking together. So,
Mhm.
in my household, there's myself, there's my 9-year-old daughter, and I have two of my brothers who live here. And we definitely experienced some hardship from the situations because we all work in different industries. We're far away from the rest of our family, which is on the East Coast. And so, number one is sticking together and really being a positive force for each other, telling jokes, being lighthearted, making, cooking and eating meals together, things like that, really breaking bread together as a family on a
Yeah.
consistent basis. And then also really just thinking about all the things that we've really wanted to accomplish that we've been too busy to think about, and starting to actualize some goals from those and creating plans to really accomplish those. So one of my brothers is working on, getting his own business started. And so he has a perfect opportunity right now to start taking those steps. And, my other brother is working on advancing his education. I want to release another book. So we're basically being given an opportunity to capitalize on things, and we're motivating each other while we're doing it because we're at home anyway together. So really sticking together, motivating each other, and just really setting goals and hitting them is the best way. And then every morning I start my morning with scripture and prayer. I believe it's very important to be spiritually grounded, and that means different things for other people, and
Yes.
that's okay. But I know for me, it's prayer and scripture every single morning. And so that's a little bit about how we getting through over here.
Yes, sounds so good. I think definitely scripture, prayer, whatever works for each of us, right? Whatever positive thing to get our day started.
Yeah.
Definitely for in my household, we're doing something similar. Spending a lot of time with my kids, which normally we don't get to. My son is 12, the older one, the little one is 5 months. So my 12-year-old is always at school. And when we get home, it's homework, it's dinner.
Mhm.
So now we're having a time to really bond, stay connected, more time with my mom. She lives with me now. So I think it's crucial to spend time with our family. And really be grateful. You know, in the morning, I'm like, wow, another day. Like today, I woke up and full of gratitude for everything we have. As simple as toilet paper. I'm sure you've heard all these horror stories about toilet paper.
So
And
crazy.
all the craziness that's happening. And I just remind myself like how grateful we are to have shelter, to have water, to have all these wonderful things that sometimes we take for granted. So I
Absolutely.
think it's super important to remember all those things.
Hmm.
Wonderful. So I'm glad everything's working out for your family. You're having some time to work on your second book, you said?
Yeah.
That's so cool. So how far along are you?
I don't even know because I've been writing it on a running Word document, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm getting close to the end. And so I'm hoping to have that, at least all the content written by the end of this period, which, according to the governor, we might not be going back to school until after summer break. So, shoot, I might
Just don't
write
know.
2 books. Like,
Yeah. At that point, who knows?
it's crazy. you
It
know.
is so crazy. Yeah.
I like what you said about gratitude because, this is also a really good time to rewire the way our brains think and process things. A lot of times we're operating from our amygdala, our fight or flight. We get afraid, we panic. And so,
Yeah.
even with what's been going on, people have been panicking. But if you actually just take a deep breath and send oxygen into that part of your brain, you can activate your logic and your rational thinking, which will remind you that you're in no immediate danger and will allow you the space to be grateful for everything that you do have.
Exactly. And that's part of actually the title of my program, Just Breathe.
Yes.
Because sometimes we forget to just breathe, and there's really so much comfort and so much stability that we can get from that.
Right.
So I completely agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. So let's talk a little bit about owning your voice and what does that mean to you? And then I'll go a little bit in regards to how that has affected my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I think for me, owning your voice is really about finding yourself and finding yourself in a way where you become comfortable enough with presenting yourself with your most in your most raw form, with your
yeah,
vulnerabilities. And I think that it means being able to stand in your story and
yeah,
share your story in a way that encourages and inspires other people because you've been able to find space to give gratitude. And so I really think like owning your voice is saying, like, hey, this is what I've been through. This is who I am, but it wasn't for me. It was bigger than me. And I need to own this so that I can have the power to share it with others to help them get to the next level as well. So, and I think it's a really difficult thing because if you step out and start speaking before you have a deep understanding of who you are, then you might end up expressing someone else's voice or someone else's viewpoints. So I think it really comes with a sense of becoming introspective and looking within and building yourself in that way and really owning and standing in your story enough to use your
mhm,
voice to inspire others.
yeah. Wonderful. So that's part of my program actually, and I have a few notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Um, so like I said, my program, when I created this program, some months ago, I was going through depression and, certain thoughts after having my baby. And I had never felt this way about myself. Just some days I didn't even want to get up from bed. It was just a very depressing moment for me. And I couldn't get out of this funk. Every day I would say, okay, tomorrow's a new day. And again, I feel like once you start owning your voice and owning your story, then you get more strength and you're able to help others by sharing your story. So I think that's something that has helped me. Um, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, because you're okay. Just want to make sure because I feel like it froze a little bit. Are
Oh,
you able to?
it did, but
Oh,
now it's
perfect. Okay, wonderful. So anyway, what I was saying with my program and week one mindset was, which what we talked about was, I think that's where everything starts, right? We start with our mindset, and that's super important because if we don't have that right and we don't have a positive mindset, it's difficult to own our voice. So I think definitely having a positive mindset, really focusing on gratitude, making sure that whenever we have the mind chatter and the negative thoughts, we've reverted to something positive, and
right.
it takes time and a lot of practice. And for me, owning my voice was exactly what you said, just using my story for my purpose. And a lot of people say making from my mess to my message. And what I found is that with my situation with postpartum depression, or probably my history with violence with my father in the past, I carried a lot of shame and a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
So by telling my story, I was able to move forward and really just own it and
Hmm.
share it with the world, and make it into a positive and hopefully serve as an example for other people.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I love how you've also been able to own your voice and you're sharing it with youth and with other women and with other men out there that might need an example. um, Tell us a little bit about your background. Were you raised in San Jose? Because I know this is where you currently live now, right?
Oh yeah. So I'm actually from Hartford, Connecticut, which is on the East Coast, very close to New York. And I went to college in Boston. And when I finished school in 2009, I moved to San Jose, California. So I've been in San Jose for about 11 years now. So I came here pursuing a career in music because I'm a hip
Okay.
hop artist. And little did I know God had a plan even bigger than that. Instead of me getting into the industry and like selling out stadiums like I thought I was going to, I realized quickly that the industry wasn't a place for me because I'd have to change how I looked, my message, all those things. And
Yeah.
what God set up was a platform for me to use that skill in music and use my voice to actually educate the next generation. And planting those seeds would be way more infinite than the path that I was originally trying to go down. So definitely started in hip hop and rap. And actually, my book that I recently published called Truth, an Empowerment Guide for Youth and Allies, is a book broken down into three chapters: self confidence, social issues, and healthy relationships. And it's my rap lyrics broken down to teach these really broad concepts
Wow.
around self love and systems of oppression and being able to recognize whether or not you're in a toxic relationship. So I found a way to integrate my love for music and hip hop into my career as an educator.
That is so cool. So you're still educating and using your voice.
Yep,
It's so
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I do workshops at schools,
Yeah.
and so and they know that I rap. So I go and they'll be like, "Hey, can we have you do a workshop and also perform a rap song too?" And it's like, "Yes, yes."
Yeah, that is so wonderful. And when did you start your business? Youth Hype.
This has been year 6. Yeah.
Okay.
It
Wow.
originally started as Queen Hype, which was
Okay.
an empowerment program for girls only. And over time, I realized that the confidence deficit was something that all children were struggling with. So that's when I changed it to Youth Hype and had different chapters: Queen Hype and King Hype, and then Youth Hype for all genders.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I found with my program now is that so many people, I've had women reach out to me, different ages, I'm sure as you have, and just so many people are out here just trying to become better. So I'm glad that your program is helping out so many people. You're owning your voice and using it to a positive, for something positive. And I think that when we come from a place of service, I know for me, I want to serve and make an impact in people because there's so many people out here that are struggling.
Yeah.
Especially in moments like these, we have to stand strong and make sure that we just stay together and uplift each other. So I love the work that you're doing, and my program again. That's basically what I'm doing as well, and making sure that I support those who really need us, especially like I said, women who are struggling with postpartum or have struggled with that or just some
Oh
sort of
my gosh.
depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Like I mentioned, I never thought that postpartum in this way existed up
Yeah.
until recently when I went through it. And when I did go through the motions, I went to the doctors and the doctors said, okay, we're going to give you medication. And I just decided, okay, is that the only way? I asked, and they were like, well, yeah, you want to get better. And I realized that's not something I wanted to do, take
Right.
medication. Yeah.
Right.
So I
Right.
think understanding and our mindset and getting involved in different activities like yourself, finding our purpose is essential for us.
Yeah, it really is. And I feel a lot of gratitude for you taking on this movement. Being a mother myself, experiencing postpartum depression firsthand, it was a really, really rough period of time in my life. I didn't
Yeah.
have anyone to go to. It's not something that we talk about, especially as women of color. We don't
Yeah.
really talk about this in the household. It's kind of like, oh, you're gonna go through it and you'll be fine. And I realized when I look back on it, that was a really dangerous time, for my mind, body, and spirit. And I was taking medication because I didn't know any better. And I found myself at that time getting a little bit addicted. And I just
Mhm.
remember it took 2 years to really crawl out of that hole. And so
Yeah.
the work that you're doing it's really, really important. And just sharing your story and sharing with women on how they can get through when shit hits the fan.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And we talked about that, right? Because even right now, like shit is hitting the fan. Okay.
right,
Like everything that is
right,
happening. And not only with postpartum, with so many difficulties and
right.
challenges that we go through life, it's like, damn, so what can I do now? Like, how
Mhm.
can I feel better? So it's very important to like have all these tools and to make
Exactly.
sure that we're working on ourselves.
Exactly.
Otherwise, any event like these can really make it even worse for us. So definitely gaining tools for ourselves is super
Number
essential.
one. Mm-hmm.
Number one, for sure. And I want to share a little bit about Powerhouse, which is something that you were a part of how long ago with Chandra Brooks here in San Jose?
Yeah, just maybe a couple of cohorts ago. I was in cohort either 2 or 3. I can't even
Okay.
believe there's so many cohorts now. It's like cohort 6. I
Yes.
mean, Powerhouse Academy has definitely shifted my career, my perspective, really pushed me and my personal development, and my leadership skills. When I first started working with Chandra, before Powerhouse existed, I knew she was someone that I could trust, and I also knew that she knew what she was talking about. So I enrolled in one of her early coaching programs, and back in the day, that's when she was cheap, y'all. Y'all,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you, but she has
Let me get my
inspired,
charger. Hold on.
okay,
I'm
and
sorry.
encourage so many women. So,
Yeah.
I see it now, and I see what the price is now, and I'm like, oh, of course, because you when you enroll in this program and you fully engage, you get this times 5. Like,
Yeah.
I could not believe how my business, my sales, my clientele increased based on having this accountability system set up. Powerhouse
Exactly.
Academy is amazing. So I'm so happy that you're a part of it as well, because it's great to have a sisterhood like that.
Definitely. Again, I joined, I'm part of this cohort this time around, and it's such a privilege. I mean, really, if we are trying to do something bigger in life, we need to invest in coaches, invest in programs, invest in ourselves. And sometimes the money that we would spend to go out or go to the movies or go get drinks or Starbucks, just save it. If you
Right.
can invest in someone to encourage you every day, to motivate you, and that's something that I'm also a coach. As are
Yeah.
you coaching, or are you or are you just speaking? Do you coach as well?
Yep, I do.
Perfect. Yeah. Definitely. I think we all need to, if we can, make an effort to find someone to motivate us and uplift us when we can't do it ourselves.
Hmm.
Because even sometimes I find myself needing a little bit of motivation and coaching. And I just call Chandra. I'm like, okay, whip me into shape. I know myself. So I know when I'm feeling low and I just reach out to someone. So definitely, I think it's super powerful to have someone cheering us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm.
Perfect. So I'm very glad that you came on today, that we were able to speak about your program, my program. I'm going to share more information about us, and I'm going to leave this video posted so people can get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'll leave your website. They can look at you you have a website, correct?
Yeah, so you
Perfect.
can find me on latoyafernandez.com. My organization that I founded 6 years ago is Youth Hype. That is youthhype.org. And then I'm on Instagram at Toya PYT, and also at Youth Hype. So I'm everywhere. LinkedIn,
Yes.
whatever the case.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to post some of our information, a little bit more information about our programs. If any of you are interested, feel free to let us know. Just leave us a comment, I'm in, or just send us information about yourself through our websites. And I'm going to post them. Mine is miriamspeaks.com. Feel free to reach out to us for a consultation or just to gather more information. Is there anything else that you wanted to share, Toya?
Well, I will be starting tomorrow. I'll be posting a video once a week on a concept from my book to start educating youth during the time that they're out of school. So these topics are going to include self confidence and awareness, social issues, so issues of injustice in the system and within historical context, and then also maintaining healthy relationships so that when students do eventually go back to school, they're engaging in healthy relationships with one another. So I'll be dropping a video once a week with some great activities for you to practice with your students or for them to practice, on their own, starting tomorrow. So that'll be cool.
That's so cool. And it's a good time to keep them busy. What is the age group?
Um, I would definitely say upper elementary on, so like third grade and up. But if
Okay.
your child is mature enough, look, when my daughter was in first grade, I could have conversations with her about race, but I don't want
Yes.
to make assumptions about other families. But if you feel like your child can handle that, try it out.
Yay.
Yeah,
Perfect. I'm sure I'm going to go check it out.
yeah.
And I look forward to it. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time being here with me today. Like I said, I'll post more about you and my program. You guys, thanks for joining us, and hopefully you can join us again next time.
Yay! Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
So cool. Hey, hey.